Hi class, welcome to FSN 315, Nutrition and Aging. I'm your teacher, Corrine Colin. I absolutely love this class. This is my most favorite class that I teach at Cal Poly, although I love them all, but I really love this one. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. I've been for coming on 11 years now. I've been teaching at Poly for 6 years. I also teach at Allen Hancock and Cuesta, mostly online courses. I work at a dialysis facility, very, very part-time, but there my patients are primarily elderly. And my clinical experience comes from hospitals in the Central Coast and the Central Valley. I'm also a certified diabetes educator and a certified nutrition support clinician, which means I specialize in tube feeding and IV nutrition. And I'm just really excited about this class. I love the elderly, and I think the research that is going into aging right now is just phenomenal, and a lot of it is focusing on nutrition. So we have a lot to learn and a lot to explore. I am having you guys watch this video for two reasons. One, to save time in class because we have a lot to cover. And two, because I'm having a surgery in about an hour. And so I might be out for a class or two at the beginning of the quarter. And I just wanted to make sure we get all the information. So do pay attention. We will not be discussing this syllabus in class unless you guys have questions on it. So this is our classroom, building 24-108. My office is 74-116A. It's located in the portable gray buildings, same building as the Cafes Advising Center. So if you're a nutrition major, you definitely should have been there before. It's kind of up the street from Campus Market and across from the Cal Poly Corporation office. I will say many students get lost trying to find it, but maybe go with a friend and you guys can help one another. Our final exam is Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's only a 2-hour final. We can confirm that date as the quarter progresses. And then you see my office hours are after our class, Mondays and Wednesdays, just briefly, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays for longer time, 12 to 2, or by appointment. So course description: nutrition issues in the middle and later years, changes in organ systems, nutrient needs, functional status, and food preferences as adults age, nutrition and chronic disease, nutrition assessment and screening, nutrition-related healthcare, and social services. So just looking over the course description a little bit, if you are planning to go into healthcare and you're not specifically going to specialize in, say, pediatrics or athletes, or maybe maternal, you will be working with the elderly people. These are the people who are in the rehab facilities. They're in the hospitals. And with rehab, I mean like physical rehabilitation, not drug-dependent rehabilitation. But they're in the hospitals, they're at the doctor's offices, they're in physical therapy, they're going to the clinics. They have higher healthcare needs than any other demographic in the population. So you will be working with them, and this class can help prepare you for that. Prerequisite: hopefully you've taken FSN 210. Textbook. The textbook is a custom textbook. There should be plenty available at the bookstore. It is a combination of two textbooks. So this Geriatric Nutrition, the Health Professionals Handbook, Ronnie Chernoff, is actually not the textbook. However, I have made a custom textbook based on that and one other book. You can do well in the class without a textbook if you take very good notes and you come to class every day. The lectures that I post on PowerPoint are not complete. So when you're in class, that's where we're going to fill in some of the blanks on the lectures. And so that being said, I highly suggest that you print the lectures so that you can take notes in class, and or bring a laptop or tablet that you can take notes directly onto. I think if you have just a piece of paper and you're trying to write down everything we learn in class, it will be really difficult. Journal articles, I will be probably posting some journal articles, and you're going to be reading them and then answering questions about them. There's usually 5 to 10 questions on each journal article, and the articles will have to do with the topics that we're covering at the time, and then you'll get 5 points for them. Zoom online conferencing, that is actually what I'm using right now to record this video. So if we ever need to do some digital communication, if I'm sick, if you're sick, we can actually talk face-to-face via Zoom. So that's my conference room. Student learning objectives. These cover all of the topics we're going to talk about in class, but I'll let you guys read those on your own. Communication. I do use Cal Poly email addresses as well as my own Cal Poly email. If I'm not responding to my Cal Poly email, you can try my personal email. I'm usually pretty good about responding to Cal Poly email. I'll usually get back to you within 24 hours. Excuse me. It's early in the morning. If it's the weekend, I may take longer to respond to your email. So if you have like a dire question over the weekend, you may want to plan to ask that a little earlier. Also, I have a 3-year-old. And so when I get home from school or Cal Poly, he takes up all my attention. So I will almost never be able to answer emails that come after I leave campus, but I usually wake up early to check them. Absences, we will be doing some class participation. Some of them are planned and listed on the syllabus. Some of them might be more random. If you have to be gone, you cannot make up the points unless it is for a Cal Poly approved reason, such as you're sick or you're on a sports team. If you are sick, please don't come to class. I don't want to get sick. I have a little 3-year-old. He doesn't want to get sick. None of your friends want to get sick. So just stay home, go to the health center. They'll stamp a card for you. You can show me, and I'll excuse any late assignments or projects or class participation. This I need to reword, but it says if you have an emergency or will be missing a test, please let me know ahead of time. Unfortunately, we don't see emergencies coming. That's why they're called emergencies. So if you can, shoot me an email, but if you have a true emergency, don't even worry about it. Just deal with your emergency, take care of yourself, and then email me when you get a chance. If it is a true emergency, I will excuse it. So yeah. Okay, policies. All assignments are due at the beginning of class. If you're going to be absent, please give an assignment to a friend to turn in for you. If not, please turn in next time. Assignments that are late will lose 10% of the grade. Please do not email me assignments as I tend to lose them. This is totally true. Please staple your assignments. Assignments that are not stapled will lose 10% as well. I also lose non-stapled assignments, and then I end up stapling them myself. So get a little stapler, staple your assignments. No assignments will be accepted final weeks. Everything is due before finals week. This includes extra credit, so there'll be a couple opportunities for extra credit, but it has to be turned in before finals week. And it definitely can't be turned in after I've submitted the grades and you got a borderline grade. Professional etiquette is expected as a matter of common courtesy. We have less controversial topics in this class compared to other classes that I teach, but we will be talking about some sensitive topics, Alzheimer's disease, dementias, feeding choices at the end of life potentially. And so it will be important that you're open-minded and courteous. I'm sure you guys have all had grandparents at some time, maybe older family members or older friends who may have actually gone through some of the conditions we're going to talk about in class. And so I want to be as respectful as possible in trying to be sensitive to what you've experienced. But I also love when you share with me because we learn more from your experience than just mine alone. Okay, extra credit. You can bring in an article. It has to do with nutrition and aging. That is the only guideline, and you just have to write your name on it. If it has to do with the topic we're covering at that time, even better, but it doesn't have to. That's 3 points. You can also do a video interview with an elderly person. And I just recently changed the points on this. So on the printed version of the syllabus, it says 5. I changed the range just from history of teaching the classes. So you could do the video interview for an additional 4 to 6 points. 6 points if turned in before the midterm, 4 points if turned in after the midterm. That's because usually the last week of class, I get like 15 videos turned in, and then we don't have a chance to watch them. The goal of the videos is we get to watch them together and hear from different elderly members of the community or from your own hometown and their experiences surrounding food or nutrition or just tips for healthy aging. And it really adds a lot of value to the class. If you have a video candidate who does not want their video to be shown in class, you can still get extra credit for it. Just email me so I can see it at least, and I won't play it in class. But these end up being quite valuable. Okay, keep your cell phones off. Try not to be late. Let's see. You adults, please don't give excuses about your dog eating your homework, your printer not working, your pencil breaking, or your roommate stealing your book. Those are kind of hypothetical. In addition, please staple all assignments. Yes, you read that twice. Okay, so you are adults. You're getting trained in your learning. You're about to start jobs pretty soon, going out into the professional world. College is kind of like practice for that. So being accountable and responsible for your work is really important. And teachers will see that in students who are able to do that. I know it seems petty, but it's just really important kind of habit to practice. Okay. No negative remarks about race, religion, national origin, disabilities, gender, sexual orientation. DRC, if you need to use the DRC, I can schedule your tests or quizzes there. We do have online quizzes. They are online. I know I just said that, but a lot of students, at least one time in the quarter, forget to take them. So take the quiz on the day it is due or before and use the syllabus to see when it is due. Sometimes on PolyLearn, I give a little extra bit of a time frame in case you forget, but I will not extend it beyond then. So the day that it's due is per the syllabus, not necessarily what PolyLearn says. And make sure to pay attention to AM or PM. They're all due at midnight, but sometimes students get that confused with 12 in the afternoon. Okay, yeah, the quizzes, there's something that's kind of a gift. You guys are going to laugh. But they're online, 1, so we can save time in class, and 2, so hopefully you can do a little better on them. They are timed, so you'll want to review your notes for the topics of the quiz before starting them. But hopefully if you've come to class, taken good notes, reviewed them before the quiz, you can get really good grades on these quizzes, and that should benefit you in the end of the course. Plagiarism and cheating are serious violations. Do not do it. Not on quizzes, not on articles, not on anything. Cheating will result in an F in the course grade, and further attendance in the course is prohibited. That is Cal Poly policy. So do not cheat. Do not let me catch you cheating. It's just not right. Grades. So this is that kind of big one. Grades are generally not rounded up, so do not email me asking me to round yours up. And if you do email me, I specifically will not round yours up. So do not email me at the end of the quarter asking me to budge up your grade. Just read the next sentence. However, in some cases, I may make exceptions for outstanding students. An outstanding student is one who attends all classes, turns in assignments on time, participates in class, demonstrates they want to get the best grade possible by completing all assignments and extra credit. So at the end of the quarter, if you have an 89.8, and that's really borderline between a B plus and an A minus, I'm going to look through your grades and class attendance, and I'm going to see, well, did they try to turn in the extra credit? Were they there all the days that we did class assignments? Did this student speak and contribute to class, or did I not ever hear from the student? So those are all things you can do to improve your chances of getting the best grade possible. I don't do any favoritism, and that's why the parameters are spelled out here. So attend class, turn in assignments, do extra credit, and speak. So that's it. Okay, assignment breakdown, articles, 7 articles, 5 points each. I put a little tentative here. I may try to find some different articles or possibly a podcast, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to have time to do that right now. So the articles, you'll read each one, you're going to answer questions, you're going to print the questions out, turn them in class. 60 minutes, 90 plus video and questions. This is a video documentary on an aging study that was conducted. The video itself takes about 35 minutes to watch. I think it's really interesting. I think you'll like it. It's, I don't know, 5-ish years old now, but it's still really, really interesting. Maybe it's a little older than that. And so you'll just watch the video and answer questions. Yeah. Project preliminary, date, time, and organization. So a really big part of this class is doing a volunteer service. You will be volunteering in the community 10 to 12 hours during the quarter. And I'm going to have representatives from different volunteer agencies come to class the second week to talk about where you can go and what you can do. Some of the agencies are Food Bank, Senior Nutrition Program, Wilshire Health, which is a volunteer program that does calling carers, so you can be like a buddy to a senior. Garden House, which is a center for people with Alzheimer's and dementia, 24-hour care in Morro Bay, and Cap Slow, which it sounds like it's in Slow, but it's actually in Paso Robles, and this is a day stay center for people with milder levels of dementia who just need a little bit of supervision. So those are the 5 options you have. And if you wanted to get started early on them, you actually could over your spring break or the weekend before. You could reach out to those agencies. I'll post some of the contacts on Polylearn, but if you want to wait, they'll be coming to class to talk about what they do. So the goal of going to the agency is that, 1, you interact with seniors, you observe seniors, preferably during a meal time. Garden House, Cap Slow have set meal times and snack times. If you work with Senior Nutrition Program, you may go out to a community lunch, or you may help deliver meals door to door. Food Bank, they do specific senior delivery sites with recipe tasting. And then Wilshire Health, you'd be working one-on-one. So we want you to observe, hopefully, a senior in a nutrition environment, and pay attention to things such as, do they have problems chewing or swallowing? How long it takes them to eat? What flavors do they like? What are their comments about the food? Do they need any help with the food, cutting it, eating it, spreading the butter, opening the milk? Or are they able to eat, just completely without limits? What are their thoughts on food? Do they enjoy eating? Do they not enjoy eating? Have any of their taste or smell changes? Things like that. You may also be involved in planning a little activity for the seniors. They like to do a lot of arts, crafts, trivia at some of the dementia centers. So you may be involved in planning some of that and really just interacting with the seniors. So a big part of this class is doing that volunteer work. And so that volunteer work itself is actually going to contribute to a paper that you write. So the paper is called Community Service Project. It's 100 points, but you're going to get 50 of those points just for doing the volunteer work. And the rest of the 50 points is for writing the paper. A good part of the paper can be written very informally and literally with your observations. So you can say, I went to Garden House, I observed Ruth, she was eating her soup, it was spilling from her mouth. Hopefully that's not really the story you tell, but whatever you see. So when the representatives from these centers come, you will get a timesheet, and you'll also need to sign a permission slip that relieves Cal Poly of liability just in case you slip and fall on a banana while you're there or something crazy, which has never ever happened. But you'll be recording your hours as you go, and you'll have the supervisor at the facility sign them. So if you happen to do this before class starts, you literally can make your own piece of paper, or may be able to upload some timesheets on Polylearn. So look out for those. I'm not sure if I have them in my computer, but I'll try. But you would be able to track it on a piece of paper with signatures, and that could be your temporary one. Yeah, so that's required. A lot of people don't necessarily look forward to that in the beginning of the quarter, but once they have done it, they actually reflect on it and really find it was valuable to the class and just their Cal Poly experience. And it's something that you can put on your resume. It's an experience in diversity. You're working with a age group that is much different than your own. So that's a huge learning experience that you can share with future employers. And it really is just great for the community and the learn by doing environment. So I usually go with a group of students every year to the Morro Bay Senior Center, and that's where we've been volunteering. They have a senior fair. I had about 6 students come with me in January, and it's great. The seniors are fun, they're witty, they're hilarious. Some of them are a little demented, and they're fun too. So they're just such an interesting population, and they love to share their stories with you. So just be really open-minded with this. You may want to bring a little piece of paper when you go, or a little notebook just to take some notes. If you do go volunteer, we encourage Cal Poly attire if you have any. If not, don't worry. But if you have like a Cal Poly shirt or sweatshirt, that would be good. You should not wear any revealing clothing. So girls, no midriff shirts or no very low drooping shirts. Keep your body covered. No super short shorts. Clean pants or a longer skirt would be okay. Just be respectful. So yeah. Okay, and we can talk more about that in class. Quizzes, I mentioned a little bit. Those are online, timed, open note. Midterm and final exam are in class, in person. They will be approximately 75% fill in the blank, multiple choice, and the rest will be, they will be approximately 75% true, false, multiple choice, and the rest will be fill in the blank. So you will need a Scantron for each of those, as well as a pencil. And then the total participation points are listed here. On the actual syllabus, in red, I have the chapters of the custom textbook listed if you want to read along. And then I have the topics on the left-hand side. So yeah, the volunteer representative, I believe they're actually going to come on the 10th. I had them scheduled for the 8th, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to come on the 10th. It's kind of a process making these syllabuses and then seeing when people can actually come, coordinating all that. So I think they're going to come on the 10th. So you definitely want to be there that day, and I will have updates on that as it comes. Due dates. So Article 1, that is the very first article. That is due the first week of class. I will post the articles on Polylearn as well as the questions that go along with the articles, and you will just type them out and turn them in. They're pretty simple. When you're doing the articles, you don't have to cite the actual article, because I know that's what you're using. The only time you have to cite an article is if you use something different to answer a question. So don't worry about citations in these article questions. The answers to the questions, they don't have to be super long, but they should be direct and to the point. So sometimes I have students write and they have like this much writing on one question. I'm not meaning for you to have to write that much. But I want you to actually read the article and think critically about it, and hopefully they'll be really interesting. The first one I usually use is about theories of aging, and to me it's fascinating. So you'll see where the articles are, when they're due, etc. Nutrition services for older adults. We're going to talk about Article 3 questions due. The first quiz is scheduled for April 17th. So generally, I have what we've covered previously in lecture be on the quiz, and the quizzes are not cumulative, so they'll cover like chunks of information at a time. But I'll usually update you before the quiz. Okay, we're going to have these last 3 lectures on the quiz, or these 3 lectures on the quiz. Preliminaries for volunteering. This is just a very small piece of paper where you're going to write where you're going to volunteer, or where you plan to volunteer, when you plan to start, and what you might do there. That's worth 5 points. Vitamin and mineral presentations. Those are going to be due kind of the last week of April. So I'm going to have group members talk about the vitamin and mineral requirements of older adults. And I like these to be creative. I like these to be accurate. I like them to really focus on adults, so older adults. So that's one of the things that is a little bit hard to sometimes find information on. But you will form groups. I'll have a sign up on PolyLearn. It will be first come, first serve on the different vitamin and mineral options. And I'll be presenting on the macronutrients myself. Okay, midterm exam is tentatively scheduled for May 15th. If we're way behind, we may extend that a little bit, but that's the tentative day. May 27th, no class, Memorial Day. May 28th, Monday schedule. May 29th, 60 minutes, 90 plus assignment. This is the only assignment I have due online. So that will be due at midnight. There's a slim chance that I may change the Article 1 questions to be also due online, just for grading purposes and in case I don't come to class Thursday, but look for updates via email and PolyLearn on that. Okay, so we're almost to the bottom of this. Anti-aging supplement assignment. This is investigating an anti-aging supplement assignment. The anti-aging supplement industry is like a $1 billion industry, and it's one of the fastest growing industries in developed countries. It's just horrific and amazing at the same time, but they've done some really, really cool research on anti-aging supplements. I actually do have hope that some of them may play a very small role in working, which is good for me to say about a supplement because supplements don't always work. So we're gonna be exploring a supplement. You're gonna be looking at the data compared to what the Office of Dietary Supplements through the NIH says and writing about that. June 3rd in class activity. This is gonna be a really fun one, and we're gonna be seniors for a day. I also usually have a smell activity. Yeah, that's posted up here that we do. And there'll be a couple more activities throughout. The volunteer project is due the last day of class, and that includes the hours, so you'll want to get started on that. And then the final exam is on Wednesday. I don't plan to change the syllabus, but it could happen, so keep that in mind. And just a little bit about my philosophy of nutrition. So you guys will get a print copy of the syllabus in class. If you want one sooner, you can print it on your own. It is on PolyLearn, but we will not be discussing the syllabus in class. There is a potential I could do like an in-class activity where I ask a question on it, but we'll see. I really appreciate you spending the time. I know this was kind of a lengthy syllabus video, but I really appreciate you spending the time to watch it. It is lengthy, but it would take just as much time in class. So we just saved a lot of class time by having you guys watch it. So thank you very much, and I really look forward to meeting you, and I love seniors. I love this class. There's some really fascinating stuff going on. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.